There might be times when you want to add CSS properties that aren't available in the Webflow style panel to your project, to your site. And custom CSS properties let you add supported properties to your classes, and all without needing to use the custom code embed. So a neat little thing you can do in Webflow. And just a reminder, if you want to know a specific CSS property, it's helpful to go to MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, to learn more about that. But in this video, we have 3 examples that we're going to explore. And the first one is a lot of fun. Right now we're in our Webflow site, and Skylar Kitchen, he created this, absolute legend. But we have this planet here, and this planet is not real, but it is beautiful. It's a beautiful planet. But the planet is actually set to float, which is important because it's like floats around the paragraph here. But for the planet here, we're gonna go and find our custom properties section here. And what we're gonna do, we're going to add our property. And our property here is called shape outside. And as we type it in, we can see it pops up. It even has this shortcut. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to press it, shape outside, and then we need to find the value. So either you can, know the value, remember the value, but a neat thing here is you can go and hover over the property here, and we can go and view this on Mozilla Developer Network. And here we have a lot of information about this property and a lot of other CSS properties. But, you can kind of like demo it here. You can try it out here too, and you can see all the syntax as well. But what we're looking for is actually this, the circle 50%. I am going to just copy this from here and go back to our Webflow site. And I'm going to paste in the value. As soon as I press return, it wraps around the planet really nicely here. So this is, a neat little design thing. It reminds me a little bit of Word back in the days, but this is much, much nicer. The cool thing is, as well, you can still use all the strengths of the style panel. And if we go up to the padding, we can actually control the padding here and make it a little bit more accurate to your liking. So that's the first one. Let's go check out the next example. We're going to scroll up here, and we are here in the hero section. And if we look here to the left, we have a vertical box, and there's some text hidden here. But what we want the text to actually be aligned vertically to fit kind of like this sidebar here. And if we select the vertical box and go back to our custom properties, we're going to add another custom property. And we do the same thing here. We go to add. And again, you can either have these properties memorized, but I have obviously memorized it. So I'm just going to type it in. Writing mode. Oh, there we go. Writing mode. And we want it vertically aligned, left to right. And once we press enter, it is vertically aligned. Very, very nice. That's the second example. Let's move on to our third example. And our third example is a little bit more practical. And we're going to use this button as an example. So as we can see, there's not a lot of space between the text and the button itself. There's no padding. Indeed, we can use the padding here in the style panel. We already have those options. You can use variables here in the style panel in spacing by clicking in here and selecting the variables. But you do have to do it for each site, but once we use the custom property, we can just use the padding value, and it applies to all sites. So let's actually see that in action. So I'm going to scroll down, going to go down here to the custom properties, and we're going to add the padding. Nothing happens because we still need to add the value. So I'm going to go to the variable panel here. You go here, and we have it sort of like structured into colors and size, and we're going to look for our small size here. Click on these 3 tiny dots and copy the CSS. And with that copied to our clipboard, we're going to go down to our value field here. And again, we're going to paste it in and hit enter. And there we go. Just gonna close this so it looks a little better. And there we go. So now the variable size was added to all sites on this button. And if we want to just kind of see that change, we can change it a little bit. We can click in and see that edit in action, and we can see that the padding is scaling with the text size. So that's an example of a custom property leveraging that variable. Actually, we have one more example here. It's a little bit of a bonus example. We have a simple site here, just a button on the middle of the page, nothing else. And we're gonna go to a site called copypastecss.com. There's a lot of these sites out there. This happens to be one that we like. And what you see here is a lot of different buttons with the CSS available for copy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick my absolute favorite, this one. This is so cool. Just going to copy the CSS, and I'm going to go back over to our site, and with the button selected, we're going to scroll down to our custom properties. Again, we click in here, and instead of actually searching for a property or typing the property out, we're going to paste in all the property values that we actually got from that site. And as you can see, there are some properties that are not supported in Webflow. Cool, no problem. But what we see here is like all the different properties here that we got from the site, and this is really cool. Same thing here. You can still use the style panel perfectly to match everything with these custom properties. So that's really valuable. And most importantly, as you're exploring these CSS properties in Webflow, we recommend going to caniuse.com. There you can see what CSS properties are supported in which browsers. All right, that's just some quick examples of CSS properties in Webflow.